Welcome back to The Watch, and Oz, we need a bit of a palate cleanser, don't we?
Yep.
Do you know you were about to say it?
Well, you were saying yes in French just then.
You were. All right, well, you go.
Oui, monsieur.
Okay.
Wait, who's going?
You go.
Wait, I talk first, you talk first?
You talk first.
Okay. The old man gave it to you, didn't he?
Yes.
Search him.
Okay. So, palate cleanser. We just reacted to Rings of Power trailer, and I just love that they've done this. HBO, House of Dragon, they dropped their trailer at the same time.
Genius.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And let's see. Oh, this is the thing. House of the Dragon Season 1. Freaking brilliant.
Awesome.
Oh, I loved it. And just thinking, like, what's interesting, right? Watching the Season 2 trailer for Rings of Power almost gave me PTSD for how bad Rings of Power was. Because it reminded me, like, I put it out of my head. It's so forgettable. It's going to have no cultural relevance or impact apart from a cautionary tale of what not to do, right?
Yep.
And so I did not think about these characters or want to go back to it ever, right? And then seeing that trailer, oh, I remember that character. Oh, that character's bad. Oh, it was awful, right? This is having the opposite effect, where this is like reminding me of all the things I loved in House of the Dragon.
Yeah, because House of the Dragon was actually really good.
Even just now, seeing this, right? The intro reminded me, one, think of House of Dragon, and then it reminded me of the thing I loved most about it. King. The king. What was his name?
It wasn't Aegon.
No,
it was
Ramirez? No.
was it
Viserys?
Viserion, I believe.
Something like that, but the peaceful. I loved his arc so much, man. And that scene of him walking across the throne room.
Yeah, and then his thing falling off, which wasn't scripted. And then, who plays the brother?
Oh, Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. Then him being like, well, okay, goes and picks up. That was
so good. And seriously, like, they made an old man walking across the room so powerful and engaging.
Yeah.
Right? Vastly better than, like, and again, Rings of Power had all this money, CGI, drags, everything like that. A man walking across the room just... floors.
Because that was competently written to build that tension, right? Like,
and just the sacrifice that the father was making out of love for his children, and it was it was one of the greatest visual kind of stories of fatherhood and masculine strength, right? And it was depicted so beautifully with one of those weak and decrepit, aging dying men, diseased men, right? And yet he was able to show one of the greatest feats of strength I've seen in media.
Recently,
yeah.
But that's the thing, when something is competently written, the smallest things that you have put in can be the most powerful scenes in the movie.
Yes.
You know, so yeah.
Brilliant. Beautiful.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne is not just...
So, already, right, the contrast is throwing me, because this is latching on to the kind of emotional weight that Season 1 had, and just like opening up to the empty hall, and then him walking towards that empty throne and what that represents, and the war over it.
And also, compositionally, he's actually, from the looking down, he's descending to it.
Yes, right? Like that, it's so shocking how even in a few couple of seconds, you can see such a vast difference in competence and storytelling and cinematography. What was that dumb opening line in the Rings of Power trailer? Something about darkness has risen or something like that.
Something like that.
It was something really generic.
Yeah.
And I've already forgotten it. Okay? Where this is just relying on weight, emotional weight, and some symbolic visuals right here.
And also, just symbolic visuals, exactly. What's more symbolic of things that have happened before, more foreboding, than an empty throne room?
And what that represents for the story.
Exactly.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne is not just a king.
Is that...
That's the wall.
No, the sword. That's,
Longclaw?
No, so it's the one that,
Ice.
Ice is that's its name, because Eddard Stark used it at the beginning of Season 1 to chop off the head, but then it gets melted down into the two other swords.
Doesn't look big enough, though.
I think it's big enough. I remember I did like a review on Shadiversity on Ice, like how functional would it be?
It was huge.
A cool sword.
Is that enough steel for two swords?
Yeah.
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 Or a queen.
All right, so see how this latches on to quick cut scenes. Rings of Power trailer did that. Scenes without context. Just people screaming or something. Like, look at what they do here, where there's context that you understand.
It's not just a king or a
Not a king, now they show the queen. Right?
queen.
And then look at that, the falling crown, okay? What that can symbolically represent, all right? And then the dragons, and then the eggs and what that's going to mean.
They are a protector of the realm. Now I find myself in an impossible position.
All hail King Aegon!
The enemy usurped my throne.
Oh, there's just a lot of cool stuff happening here. And so what this is, they're building up to the conflict. And so this is, my brain went dead because I've now forgotten the names.
Is it Visenya?
No. But of course, in spoilers for season 1, her son getting chomped in a big way, and that ending there, and what's being conveyed here is she has a reluctance because she knows the blood that's going to be spilt, but then she also wants revenge and justice.
Who is the guy with the missing eye? Was it Jaehaerys?
I need to rewatch season 1.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to rewatch all of season 1, prepping for season 2.
We're going to King's Landing. Well, what?
I need to go back, right? Because
The enemy usurped my throne.
We're going to King's
Matt Smith, okay? Sometimes I wondered, like if an actor could ever shake an iconic role that they've done before. Would he ever get past Doctor Who, right? To me, this is his best role he's ever done.
I reckon as far as Game of Thrones characters goes, he's up there with Tywin Lannister. As far as what's he going to do, you kept guessing, and he's just fantastic the entire way.
Daemon?
Yep.
Daemon.
Daemon Blackfire. Oh, not Blackfire. Is he Blackfire? No, he's a Targaryen, of course. My bad.
Ah, man. But I think this is his iconic role. It's just so... It's done so well.
And if you know anything about the Dance of Dragons, you know that he's a good character.
Remember the scene in season 1 when he's trying to besiege the island and he gets the letter from his brother offering help? And from there, he does not say a single line of dialogue. Everything is given through body language.
Yep.
And you can write novels as to what's going on. And that's conveyed so well. And he kills the messenger, goes on, does a suicide run to take out the siege himself. It was just... so good.
Yeah, and when one of the Blackfires slanders the royal heir and says that he's a bastard, which is ridiculous. He can keep his tongue. I'll take his head.
but and the disdain he has for his brother, yet he will not let anyone insult his brother at the same time because of. And you see that there is some real complexity to his character.
Yes. Because he loves his brother. He doesn't respect him, but he loves him.
Yes.
And only then when he actually when he hobbles his way to the throne, then he gives him his respect. That's such a great character.
I freaking love it, man.
Landing. Well, what are we going to do about it?
Getting real Joffrey vibes from that guy.
I just like the visual here. Showing the Red Keep on a pretty cool angle.
Not looking very red though.
There's the light. It's the sun shining.
We must play the board before us.
Proceed cautiously.
All right, see, what I loved about this is, again, it's showing characters from season 1 that's reminding me, Otto, man. Otto's just... He is the little finger of this iteration, but almost better, I reckon.
Yeah, because he's doing it Littlefinger was oh, I wonder what do you think I'm up to, whereas he's just straight up.
He's so manipulative.
Yeah.
We must play the
There's so many good characters in this.
board before us.
Yeah. Now, I forget his name, but...
was it something strong?
No, I can't remember. But, of course, just the whole arc with him, how he was loyal to the first one, felt betrayed, and
Proceed cautiously.
Dignity.
He-
I want revenge.
his brother died. That looks like a real castle there. Wonder what's set. Well, this is interesting, right? So sometimes using real world castle sets for medieval movies doesn't fit well because the actual castles are so aged and old that they're out of period then because the film is depicting a time when these should have been in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Okay. The Game of Thrones universe is so old and been stagnant technologically that there literally would be castles that aged and weathered in that universe.
It might be Harrenhal, because Harrenhal was destroyed.
No, not big enough for Harrenhal.
Well, we're seeing part of it.
I highly doubt this is Harrenhal. But there are so many castles in Game of Thrones. Could be any. But the thing is, though, what I'm saying is like the weathering, right, fits the universe, and so that's why they could get away with using a real world set for this. One of the things that I also loved about season 1, the details, the medieval details in the costuming were phenomenal. As a medieval enthusiast, I friggin' loved it.
How'd you feel for Game of Thrones, the show? Because I feel like they did a great job.
No, that was pretty sad in a lot of like House of Dragon kicks Game of Thrones ass for its costuming and details and depicting the medieval world. Like it's a fantasy medieval world, but there are details in the sets and costuming that are more accurate than friggin' like period historical piece movies like Braveheart, right? Like Braveheart is just an abomination for its historical accuracy. Great film. I love the film, but historical accuracy dog crap, and the costumes especially. They're wearing kilts in a time period when they didn't exist, right? This does a better job, and just like look at the armor and the saddles for the horses and things.
Might be Castle Rock they're riding to, because it looked like the Reach.
Possibly.
News spreads through the realm. The great houses will come to our side.
I have no point of reference where that could be. Just cool. I see castles.
But geographically, that looks like it's leading to the north.
I mean, look at this. They got freaking kettle helmets. They got kite shields with heraldry, and like Game of Thrones, right, was missing so much heraldry. But George Martin, right? He based so much Game of Thrones on like real traditional medieval things, and so the Hedge Knight, right?
I listened to The Hedge Knight. It's a great book.
Like graphic novels, my favorite graphic novel, right? Mike S. Miller, artist for it, did also the artwork for my graphic novel, Shadow the Conqueror, and he worked directly with George. And one of the things he nails in the Hedge Knight graphic novel, like look at the heraldry and the medieval kind of details, like all the light reflections too much, but this is like in one of the jousts, man. And so it was through George's direction that Mike did it so traditionally. Like look at this, man. It's just I love it. I love it. So what I love about House of Dragons, it looks more like this, more like it's supposed to. This is what the Game of Thrones universe is supposed to look like. The actual Game of Thrones TV show, missed it completely. They went too fantasy-esque.
Yeah, everything was leathered, like they didn't actually have the...
Yes, like now, look, they have heraldry on the shields, kite shields, friggin' medieval helmets and everything, man. I love it.
For people at home who don't know, and maybe who are sitting at the table, what's the difference between heraldry and sigils?
Okay, a sigil is something that appears within heraldry. Okay. And sigils can be a difficult thing to understand because they get people confuse sigils and crests and devices and coats of arms and everything, where like a full coat of arms, the crest is the thing that appears on top of the helmet and the helmet is the thing that appears on top of the shield. But sometimes the crest is also similar to the device or sigil which is on the shield, and this...
You've got to make a video about that. Have you done a video about that yet?
Of course I've done a video on it.
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, medieval heraldry. Look it up.
But did you explain the differences?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I'm the asshole then, aren't I?
Thanks for watching my content, Oz. He's speechless. Look, he knows. And he's embarrassed about it.
Look, in my defense...
I am very autistic and I go very long in my videos. They can be hard to watch sometimes. I get it.
No. I would have settled with in my defense and you saying I'm very autistic. That would have been fine. Get the end of there. It's a French university.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
My ships sail at your command.
Ooh, all right.
Geralt of Syria. I mean, no mind.
No.
The realm's only hope is in a leader strong enough to unite it.
Oh, yeah. Daemon stepping up.
Do you accept me as your queen and ruler?
I was just going to say no.
Okay, like, see, I have not read the book, so I don't know what's coming, and this is just great, like, teasers for the series, because this is teasing that there might be a conflict in authority between Daemon and the Queen, right? And he thinks he should be leading, which is, I mean, like,
He should.
this is the type of stuff you want to tease, where you're not giving the whole thing, but you're like, all right, this is one of the conflicts that'll be coming out, right? And again, did we get anything like that in the Rings of Power trailer where it's just like, darkness is rising, oh no, it's Sauron! Like, any context or not revealing the whole thing, but just like hints at there's something interesting.
We had Deezer looking over like that, and then we had the shot of some sort of cavernous opening, and you could see the...
Yeah. Oh, there was like, Balrog is going to rise and destroy the thing, even though we revealed that's what's going to be happening in season 1, right?
Yeah. Asshole.
I got that one. Didn't look as convincing.
I hate this guy.
I don't know. Just this looks more green screen.
Yeah.
Is it the perspective? Is it what's in focus now?
It's just an uncanny shot.
Not the best. Castle. I haven't seen the castle before, so I don't think it's
It's a
any.
small one.
Yeah, it's a small one, but cool medieval army ready to besiege it. Love it.
What castle could that be?
I reckon it might be a new one, or maybe one that was referenced but never shown.
Swords end.
Shall never prevail.
He is like my second favorite character in
Yeah,
the
it's
series.
fantastic. You know when he accidentally killed the son, he was like,
Oh, yeah.
that was a mistake.
Whoops.
That's why you shouldn't play with fire or fire-breathing dragons.
Not like this.
Alicent towards love for our enemy. That makes her a fool.
Starks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The enemy without may be fought with swords. The enemy within is more insidious.
So much of House of the Dragons for me is exceeding Game of Thrones. Like, I think the storytelling is actually superior in House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
The characterization, and it didn't go for cheap fan service that Game of Thrones did, where it's just like, let's throw boobs everywhere.
At the end, they did go for fan service, like Bronn and, putting memes in and stuff like that.
See,
but then sometimes...
House of Dragons feels like it's just a far more seriously narrative-driven work.
Yes, I agree. However, it is still current year, and there are things that look out of place in the show sometimes.
I don't know, because they tried to, do the... like they thought it was marketing, but it was negative marketing about like, oh, it's such a feminist film and everything. It's not. House of Dragon has some really like anti-woke stuff in it, you would say, because I think it's just concerned about telling a story.
And what about the demographic shifts?
It actually enhanced the story. No, like...
Is that guy Blackfire? Doesn't look like it.
I don't know who he is, but the fact that the race changed for, I forget the house, right?
House Blackfire.
And then the sons,
like
not looking the right colour, right? And it being a more obvious open secret, I think actually enhanced the story.
Well, that could work, right? Because of that. However, explain the demographic change in Westeros between these two time periods and why there's not more brown people in Westeros.
Well, there is a fate of this house that happens as a result of this war.
But they'd still be in there a little bit, wouldn't they?
I don't know. Well,
who knows?
We'll find out.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought we got a reference to Blood and Cheese.
See, it's interesting, yeah, there's more than one way to fight a war, and then it has those quick cut scenes that look like, money exchanging hands and assassination and stuff. Again, this shows the competency of people who's making this trailer, where when they go to quick cut scenes, what they're showing actually has relevance and hints of what could be happening, where we saw quick cut scenes in the Rings of Power trailer, and it was just random, no context scenes of people like sometimes screaming, yeah, the dragon and this.
You had a Freudian slip just then.
What?
You said for what do you call it? What's it called again? Rings of Power? I keep forgetting. The quick cuck scenes, that's what you said.
Did I?
Truth.
Okay, right. Again, those are real, like some looking proper medieval outfits there, especially with there. What's on the head? That's looking cool. Good shot of...
Oh, that's going to be Battle Above the God's Eye.
I don't know spoilers.
No spoilers, I won't. But do you remember?
War is coming, and neither of us may win.
They did in the special features of the Game of Thrones series DVDs, they did some animatics and animated histories of Game of Thrones, of Westeros, and it talks about the Dance of Dragons and the Battle of the God's Eye. It does the entire thing, right? And the Battle Above the God's Eye, I'm not going to spoil it, but the people who know, they know.
Okay. All right. This looks friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Like, the Battle Above the God's Eye is so good, it will be the last scene of this season. I guarantee it.
Whoa, exciting. And I just love it. It's like, we got something, just a steaming pile of crap with Rings of Power, and then House of the Dragon drops it. June 16. That's not too far away. What?
June 16th. That's, should be like five weeks away.
Is that like next month?
Yeah, next month.
Holy crap!
Time flies.
All right. That is awesome. Oh, sweet. Well, I am very much looking forward to House of Dragon. Let's quickly check out some of these comments. HBO casually doing a Kendrick here, posting their trailer 30 minutes after competition.
Yeah.
Right after Rings of Power. Love it. I'm going to upvote that one because I thought that was just such a great move. Shivering, war is coming and neither of us may win. What a cold sentence. Yeah, people are loving it. We're loving it. Team Black Loyalists, where are you? I don't know now. I don't know. I was like, I need to rewatch season 1 to figure it out. I was usually on Team Green, but I don't know. How much dragon should we put in the trailer? HBO, yes. Damn, now I see why this took 2 years to make. The production actually looks insane. Yeah. Looks good. Looks very, very good. Looking forward to it. We'll be there watching closely because that's what we do. Stay on watch.